Need your help this morning. There is something I don't understand, and that is internet trolls. And as your newly self-appointed social media chaplain, I probably need to understand internet trolls. Maybe you are one, and you can just explain yourself to me. But here's what I don't understand about internet trolls. I don't understand why people would take the time or waste the time and go out of their way just to troll someone, to make somebody angry, to say something they may not even believe in. So I Googled the idea of troll psychology, internet troll psychology, and this is how Wikipedia defines an internet troll: someone who posts inflammatory, insincere, digressive, extraneous, or off-topic messages in an online community. Then it gives a bunch of examples with the intent of provoking readers into displaying emotional responses or manipulating others' perception. That's a fair definition, but that doesn't explain to me why. Um, but that's to say you've probably seen one. Maybe you are one, and I doubt you're going to admit that to me. But please explain to me why you'd waste your time. You've probably engaged with one, maybe, hopefully not, but you've certainly probably seen someone. So I'll get into the psychology of that in a minute, but let's have just a few moments of fun before we dig into the deep stuff. And eventually that'll lead us back to our topic. It's now the month of May, and I just realized why it's called the month of May, at least here in our part of the country. I think everybody jokes about the weather where they are and how often it changes. So here in where I am in Indiana in the month of May, it may rain, it may snow, it may be 70 degrees, or it may be 20 degrees. It's 40 or 50 out. It's going to be 80 next Monday. So um, you probably feel the same way wherever you are. But anyway, so that joke is universal for everybody. But I want to take this next little topic, this next little joke, I guess we'd call it, but it's really a thing of deception that I ran across, kind of leading us back into the idea of internet trolls. But there's this I want to give credit. This is a tweet from Eric Alper at that Eric Alper, um, but he says that there's a burger place in Toronto, I assume Canada, that has named their value meals after, like if you go to a fast food restaurant, I want number 4, number 5, and whatever that is. But they have named their meal numbers after office supplies with the intent that you can then bill your job for those things. For example, there's a chicken burger that it's titled Mini Dry Erase Whiteboard. Another one of their sandwiches is called an ergonomic aluminum laptop stand, right? So when your boss or accountant, whoever it is in your office that sees your expense report, sees those sorts of things. The other one is wired earphones with mic, and it's just a burger and fries and so forth. So anyway, that's being intentionally deceptive, and sometimes that's what internet trolls do. And I want to talk about that a little bit this morning, just very briefly. Not going to spend a lot of time today. So I told you I Googled the idea of internet trolls psychology. And most of the info went really deep and said that they were narcissists and psychopaths with a dark triad of personality traits. Right now, some said narcissism, some didn't, and depending on who you see, you'll get different definitions. But that all may be true. But what I wanted to get at today was the heart of how a troll is created, and I think I have an idea based on another article I was reading, and this is from an article called "Globalization is Over: The Global Culture Wars Have Begun." It's by David Brooks in the New York Times. Here's what he said. This is on kind of an unrelated subject, but I thought it really gives an idea to the psyche of what's going on in the world around us and how we've gotten to a place where we have internet trolls. He says this: human beings are powerfully driven by what are known as the thymotic desires. I didn't look that word up. I'm not sure what it means. Thymotic. So you can look it up. These are the needs to be seen, respected, appreciated. If you give people the impression that they are unseen, disrespected, and unappreciated, they will become enraged, resentful, and vengeful. They will perceive diminishment as injustice and respond with aggressive indignation, which seems to me like more than just internet trolls. But I thought there's something of substance. There's some truth in there somewhere that if people feel seen, respected, and appreciated, there's no need to lash out at people. And I kind of believe that's how an internet troll is created. And just newsflash, the internet's probably here to stay, and maybe around a while. So we need to work on the humans that inhabit that space. Which kind of reminds me of another thing that I don't understand about the universe is this metaverse. I kind of do, but then I kind of don't. How you can buy properties. So that's a topic for another day. But if you are all up on the metaverse, please inform me, point me to the right direction. But I want to suggest that in order for us to stop creating trolls, we need to help all humans feel seen, respected, and appreciated. I think that's the cause of most of the conflict in our world. So let's stop creating internet trolls. And I want to call out specifically to those who believe in the Bible, believe that there's a God of heaven and earth, that He's in charge of this whole thing, and that we need to surrender our lives to Him. So let's stop creating internet trolls and let people find their ultimate value in being created in the image of God. Now, this is a topic I'm planning to come back to this summer. The series tentatively titled "Did God Really Say?" Satan's first question in the garden. But for today, let me just briefly turn us to one verse of scripture, but it's so very important. And it's Genesis 1, verse 27. It says, "So God created man in His own image. In the image of God, He created him. Male and female, He created them." So if you think about that verse, and I want to close with it again today because I really want you to think about that. But this verse has impacts and effects on human psychology, on our philosophy on abortion and gender, how we treat other humans, how we feel about other races and nations, and so many other things. And there's a lot at stake in that verse. So I want you to meditate and think about that today. I'm going to close with that verse, but first I want to remind you to like, share, comment, send questions, things you'd like me to talk about. Send me some jokes too, or links to help me understand metaverse, trolls, whatever it may be. I welcome the discussion, especially those who disagree with me. But for today, here's what I want you to leave you with. Again, I want to read that verse and have you think about that. "So God created man in His own image. In the image of God, He created him. Male and female, He created them." So think about that today, and we'll see you soon.